pretty much every day, I find that I have to explain to somebody why my partner is in prison. And unlike with probably most of you who are here, I often have to start from the beginning, explaining what climate change is, how it's going to affect normal people, and why Marcus is just a normal person trying to help other normal people. But the hardest people often to explain it to are my children. And the other day, I decided to try and do it with a story. About a year after Marcus came to this country, and after we got together, my children moved to a new school, a bit like somebody moving to a new country. And so I said to them, just imagine you moved to your new school, and shortly after you got there, some older kids from year 6 told you that they'd done a science experiment and they'd studied the water that was coming out the water fountains that you were all drinking from at school. And they'd found out that that water was actually coming straight from the sewage system, and that it was infected, and that it was poisonous, and that you shouldn't be drinking it. And I said to them, what would you do? And my son said, well, I'd go and tell the teacher. So I said, that's a really good thing to do, well done. What would you do if your teacher said, oh yeah, we know about that, but it's a bit expensive to sort it out at the moment. Don't worry, I'll tell the head. And so you thought the head would sort it out. And then in the meantime, your friends, your new friends, started to get ill. Then what would you do? And he said, oh, well, I guess I'd go and talk to the head. My son's 10, by the way. And I said, that's really good. What would you do if you went and you talked to the head of the school and he said, oh, yeah, we do know about that, sorry. It's just that a lot of people are making quite a lot of money out of that system at the moment, and we need to make sure that they carry on making money out of the way that the water fountains are set up at the moment. So we'll make a goal, we'll sort it out in a couple of years' time. You may have left the school, but it will get sorted out, don't worry about it. What would you do then? That's when my son wobbled a bit. He said, maybe I'd come and tell you, you could move me to another school. I said, yeah, but that wouldn't save your friends, would it? He said, oh yeah. Well, I'd tell you, and I'd get you to do something about it. I said, all right. Well, what about if you and I decided that nothing else had worked, we'd tried everything else, so one morning we went to the front of the school and we climbed up the posts at the sides and we dropped a big banner and we tried to stop everybody going to school for one day to tell them that the water was infected and that people would die if we didn't do something about it. He said, yeah, that's a good idea. I think he just started to clock what this was all about. He hadn't at first. And then I said, well, and what about if when you did that, they came and they got you and they put you in the chokey? And if you don't know what the chokey is, it's a reference from Matilda that most kids know quite well now. And the chokey is like a prison, really painful, horrible place to be. And he said, well, that wouldn't be right. I said, well, that's kind of what's happened to Marcus. And I said, and if, just to top it all off, once you were in the chokey, somebody came to explain to you that they were going to send you back to your old school because you weren't one of the first people to arrive at this school, so you didn't have as many rights as the other people in the school. It was more important that all your friends got to school on that one day than that you tried to save their lives. And so once you're out of the chokey, eventually they're going to just move you. And I think he understood, and I hope you understand that too.